Hello, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, it's an exciting video. This has been a video I've been wanting to work on for a while, but I had to do the rest of the series first. So, here we are finally. Why Star Wars Rebels is an underrated show. So, this will be like the rest of the ones, like the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian one. 3 categories: the overall story, the characters, and my personal feelings about the show. So, let's. I do want to, I do want to say something before we get into it. I thought Star Wars Rebels was an amazing show. So when I'm saying I gave Star Wars Rebels a 3rd place, that's not a bad thing. I mean, 3rd place is really high up there. Like, for me, Rebels almost beats Mandalorian. Just almost right there. Now, Star Wars Resistance is a different story, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. Anyways, Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels was a show that was on Disney XD. I think it was like 2014 to 2014 to 2016, I believe. I'm not sure. I should probably be checking this, but it's fine. I like making guesses, because then I can criticize myself about it. Anyways, Star Wars Rebels is a show about a family. Well, kind of a family. They're not really related, but it's like a rebel group of family, and they're all family. And they fight against the Empire. And I love every season of it. But let's get into the story. So, Season 1, the rebel gang meets, Phoenix Squadron meets, I don't think they're called Phoenix Squadron yet, but, Kanan and Zeb, who is like a kind of human-ish Wookiee thing, they find a kid named Ezra. And, Ezra, he was born in a town called Lothal, or a planet called Lothal, which is a new planet, and it's very important in the Rebel story. So, yeah. This isn't too much spoiler stuff, but spoiler alert. I always forget to say this at the start of the video, so spoiler alert. So Ezra, he gets taken with the rebel gang because he tries to steal weapons and stuff from them under their noses that were from the Empire. It's a whole deal. Basically, he tries to steal their loot that they just got. But instead, he ends up going to help them, and they like save Wookiees and stuff. And then we find out the big reveal that Kanan Jarrus, which is one of the main crew members, is a Jedi. I'm fine with how the lightsabers look in Rebels. I don't mind them being skinny or anything. I think they look great. And then we find out that the Inquisitors are a thing. So Inquisitors are basically, they're not really Sith Lords because they don't follow the rule of 2. They're more like the Emperor's Imperial Guards. They're kind of like that, but they use lightsabers, and they have the Force. So the Inquisitors are Jedi assassins sent by Darth Vader to kill all of the Jedi, every Jedi that survived the Order 66. So in this season, we meet the first Inquisitor. Well, maybe not the first Inquisitor. Actually, yeah, the first Inquisitor, I think. His name is the Grand Inquisitor, and he is basically the main villain of the season. There's also an ISB agent, which is like some of the most elite people in the Empire. They're like they're really athletic, and they're kind of like the Imperial officers, but they're more for fighting and stuff instead of commanding. So there's an ISB agent named Agent Kallus, and he's a pretty cool character. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. The season finale happens. Kanan thanks Ezra dies, and he uses his passion for Ezra to take out the Grand Inquisitor, he tries to save the Grand Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor takes his life because the Grand Inquisitor just kind of lets go of the platform, and I don't know. He just he wants to keep his pride. I believe was what happened. I don't know. Anyways, my favorite season 2 of Rebels. Darth Vader, Ahsoka Tano, and a lot more characters. First off, basically at the start of the season, we get to meet Captain Rex in his older form. Captain Rex, Gregor, the clone commando, and Commander Wolf, I believe is his name. And he was in charge of the Wolf battalion. Or not battalion. Yeah, I think it was a battalion. So, they're all living together on the AT-TE, which was the inspiration for the AT-AT walkers for the Empire. So they meet them, they take him back home, and Rex... Well, actually, they meet Ahsoka first at the start of the season, and then she tells them to go find Rex so that they can fight the Empire better. So they find Rex, bring him home after a fight, and then like the main climax of the season starts. We get to meet the 2 new Inquisitors, the 5th brother, and I believe the 6th sister, 7th sister, one of the 2. And they're the new Inquisitors. There's multiple Inquisitors apparently, and it's pretty cool. So they fight them, and then Ahsoka just destroys those Inquisitors. And then finally, the end of the season finale. Ahsoka versus Darth Vader. One of my favorite scenes in Rebels. It was a great scene. It was so emotional seeing Vader and Ahsoka fight. And then at the end of the fight, Ahsoka finds out that Vader is Anakin Skywalker, her old master. And I love how they keep to the fact that Ahsoka was not a Jedi at the end of Order 66. She left the Jedi Order, so technically she was not a Jedi. So, which is why she says she's no Jedi to Vader. But when she finds out he's Anakin, it's just, wow. She even makes a reference to her leaving the Jedi Order and Anakin watching it all happen. And then, oh yeah, Darth Maul comes back. That was great. I love that. He blinds Kanan. Kanan's blind for the rest of the series. And yeah. Now, Season 3, I enjoyed it very much. I don't really remember too much about it, but I think in Season 3 we're introduced to Hondo, which is a character from the Clone Wars who used to be a pirate. And then my third favorite character in all of Star Wars, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, Grand Admiral Thrawn is a blue alien, and he is a very elite officer. He is extremely smart, and he can predict the rebels' almost every move. Most of the time, the only reason he loses in each episode is because someone on the Empire doesn't do their job right. He could have won so much stuff if the rest of the Empire would just listen to him. He's just like such a relaxed officer too. Like, he doesn't panic too much because he knows he's like a god in the Star Wars realm. Grand Admiral Thrawn, 10 out of 10 character. And then the finale of Rebels, Season 4. We find out that Kanan's real name is Caleb Doom, and I think we also get some backstory on what happened to his master. His master. And then the saddest part of the whole series is Kanan dying. He basically goes to save Hera, which is the pilot of Phoenix Squadron. He goes to save him. We find out that they love each other, and then right as Ezra and Sabine, who is the Mandalorian of the group, right as they came back to save him, the AT-AT that was chasing them blows up the fuel base that they were on. Now, this actually backfires really bad because I believe she ends up dying because Grand Admiral Thrawn kills whoever did it. I think it was like General Price or something. I'm not sure. I forgot her name. But she was threatened to be killed by because Grand Admiral Thrawn's working on this advanced TIE fighter program, and that pretty much full stop on that because she blew up the fuel base. But Kanan Jarrus, right as he's holding back the fire, he holds back all the explosions so that Hera, Ezra, and Sabine can all survive. Right as he's holding back the fire, right before the fire immediately swallows him, his eyes turn from the white that they used to be when he was blind to the same color they were in the start of the season and the series and all that. And then the fire consumes Kanan, and they all get away except for Kanan. At the end of season 4, Ezra and the gang, they all go to fight Grand Admiral Thrawn. Well, not Grand Admiral Thrawn. They go to take out the Empire on the Fall. They can't wait anymore because it's going bad. So they succeed in taking over the base, so they start trying to launch the system, but Grand Admiral Thrawn's personal bounty hunter has disabled the shields and stuff on the city. So, moments later, Grand Admiral Thrawn's full, what's it called? I think it's a fleet. His full Imperial fleet arrives at the scene and starts just raining down fire against the city. And then Ezra gives himself up to save Lothal. And then once he gets aboard the ship, he meets Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Thrawn leads him to Palpatine. And Palpatine, he tells him, he's like, I can get your parents back and stuff if you just activate the weapon or whatever. So it almost gets Ezra. He's right there, but he doesn't take it. And he goes to stop Thrawn, and the whale, there's like hyperspace whales and that were in season 2. They come back to take all of the Empire, the whole Imperial fleet, including Grand Admiral Thrawn himself. They take him and send him into space, waiting for the Rebel sequel to come out. Now, during season 4, Ezra goes into like a Force realm, and he saves Ahsoka Tano from dying to Vader's hands. So she's now alive again, and that's why she's getting her own show with Sabine Wren to go find Ezra. Because Ezra is not dead. He even said himself, he's like, come find me. I will be alive, and no one knew what he meant until he leaves. So the show ends. It's after the Battle of Endor, Return of the Jedi. It's after all of that. So Ahsoka finally goes to meet Sabine, and they leave to go find Ezra Bridger. That was a great finale. The whole thing was very emotional. It was a really great show. And then let's get on the characters. Kind of already talked about him a bit, but basically the whole squadron. Ezra is a kid. He wants to like take out the Empire, and he ends up becoming a Jedi Padawan, and he's a really cool character. I liked him a lot. Kanan Jarrus used to be a Jedi during Order 66, and then he starts training Ezra in the way of the Force. Hera Syndulla is the pilot and pretty much the owner of the whole thing. She flies him everywhere and all that. Then Chopper, their little astromech droid, he's a very he has a mind of his own, basically. He's not like other astromechs. And then Zeb, I forgot what he's called. I forgot what species is, but he's like a purple kind of Wookiee, but he can speak normal English. And his whole family, almost his whole race was destroyed by the Empire, and he finds out that there's more of them, and it's a great story arc. And then Sabine Wren is a Mandalorian. She gets to use the dark saber in that series, and she goes to help find Ezra at the end of the season. My personal thoughts, I thought the show was really great, which is why I think it's underrated, because I don't hear enough people talking about how great it was. Like, I see a lot about Clone Wars, and Clone Wars is amazing. Like, you can't beat Clone Wars, but there should be some more talk about Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels was a great show. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And we're almost at 30 subs. Remember, we get that, I'll start streaming at 30 subs. And the Clone Battalion Season 1 Q&A is the first stream. I've decided that we'll be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 because there's lots of time between games of Battlefront to read the comments, read the chats, and get all your questions in. We'll probably take a break before we hop in, but we'll also be, yeah. Alright, I will see you guys later. Bye.